All right, hey everybody, what's going on? I'm showing this, and I don't know if this is going to get taken down or what, but it appears that the second Castlevania, well, actually, technically the third, because there was a teaser, then there was an official trailer, and now this is the unofficial second trailer that is coming out. So I guess this is three. I don't know, whatever. For the Netflix Castlevania show, the Castlevania Nocturne, which is coming out apparently September 28th, according to the trailer. So I figured I'd give this a watch in front of people. I've already watched it once just because it popped up, and I was like, oh, wait, is this the same trailer? And I was like, no, this is different. This is very different. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about it, about what we're seeing in this new trailer, my thoughts on it, and what's gonna become of it. So here we go. Ready? And play.
To the one before whom evil trembles.
I give my devotion.
To the devourer of light.
It's cool to see the different
my
vampires. You know, like the vampires have continued, growing in power with the now that Dracula's gone.
Would be the ungrateful wanker.
Tell me what you know about this vampire messiah.
Ungrateful Wenka.
She will bring horror beyond nightmares, suffering and pain beyond endurance.
Do you know what they are?
No.
Well, whatever they are, I'm sure they can die.
Okay. Divine bloodlines. I really hope this is a good sign of more Castlevania music in this this upcoming series. I don't know about this girl. I don't know what's up with her. No clue. Oof.
We're all afraid, Richter. Of course we are.
I've only been afraid once in all my life. I won't let myself be afraid ever.
See, I'm really hoping that they show more of that backstory.
Belmont, last descendant of the Belmont clan, and I kill vampires. Who's next?
I dreamed last night about the world we're making. All will worship me. All kneeling before me. Soon there will be only darkness.
Okay, so they're going to use an eclipse of some sort. Okay. So there's good and bad in this, and here's my immediate thoughts, just kind of reflecting off of watching this for the second time now. This is obviously a trailer that's designed to showcase some of the action, some of the suspense, some of the more interesting characters that we're going to see in this series. Here's my thought, and keep in mind, we have not seen the show. It has not released yet. I don't know how every episode is going to go. Most likely what'll happen is once the series comes out, I'll give it a full watch, and then I'll make a video on my thoughts on it. And also, of course, reflecting on the previous series. I've done that in the past on this channel, so I don't really want to touch too much on the original series. But this new one has new writers and everything. Mostly the same staff, I believe, in terms of the producers. The Dietz brothers are back working on this. So I like I like most of the look and feel of this trailer. Most of the costumes are on point. We're getting into some characters, though, that we haven't seen before. Most specifically, that like bondage vampire, like the the S&M kind of leather-clad, busty kind of female vampire that I've not seen before in a previous trailer. I don't recall seeing her. I don't personally have a problem with this, but I will say that it does kind of reflect back to Isaac's original portrayal in Curse of Darkness in the game, in the sense that that whole goth bad boy kind of vibe. I've talked about this before publicly on Twitter. I absolutely loathe the original design for Isaac. I think he's terrible. I just don't think it fits with anything in the original Castlevania universe. In terms of the way he looks, the flaming red hot hair, and and I've mentioned this before in reflection to Ayami Kojima's Simon Belmont redesign in Castlevania Chronicles. Just not a fan. That's just me personally. That's my opinion. I just don't like it. I don't think it fits with the original style and look and feel of the series. I'm okay with most of the other designs that she's done over the years, but Isaac and Simon, that really box dye hair combined with the ridiculous over the top S&M kind of gothic vibe, BDSM look. I don't have a problem with that, with people wearing that stuff in modern day, but it just doesn't fit with these old series that we're talking about, in terms of the timeline. Nobody wore stuff like that, back then, at least not to my knowledge. Hey, maybe they did, and I just didn't know it, but it just doesn't fit. I just don't like it. So there's that. It's a shame to see that come into this trailer, to see a character that's wearing stuff like that. Just, I don't know, it's just kind of silly. Otherwise, the rest of it looks pretty good. I'm interested to see what the vampires are doing. Now that Dracula's gone, obviously they're left to kind of live on, and I'm assuming, of course, that we're assuming that Just Belmont and Simon Belmont have already fought Dracula, prior to this series. So we're assuming that Richter's lineage matches up with the original timeline in the video games. We're assuming. We don't know 100%. They said originally, the Dietz brothers did confirm that there was a mistake when the series was originally launched, saying that Richter was Trevor's son, which is absolutely not correct. So they've confirmed it. Most likely, based on what I've seen before and some of the other videos that I've done on this series, it looks like Just Belmont is going to be coming back in some way, shape, or form, most likely in flashback videos. And we kind of see that with Richter here as a child running away with the vampire whip. I'm wondering if that has anything to do with showcasing maybe his lineage, maybe his mother. I'm thinking it's his mother that dies. So perhaps his mother dies fighting a vampire or Dracula. Probably a vampire, not Dracula. Because again, we don't know. We assume that Dracula is coming back based on the fact that it's Castlevania and Dracula comes back. A lot of people online I talked to about this were like, well, it doesn't make any sense that Dracula comes back. Yeah, it does. Because it's Castlevania. It'd be like saying, well, it doesn't make any sense that Dr. Wily's in jail after Mega Man 7, so it's impossible for him to come back. No. It's based on a video game. It's an adaptation of a video game series, okay? So this whole nonsense with people saying well, now story-wise, well, first off, we don't know the story. We don't know what's going on with Nocturne. We don't know how they're going to bring Dracula back. But they're saying, oh, well, Dracula has no reason to come back. Yeah, he does. He does. He absolutely has a reason to come back. Man is evil. And that's it. That has always been the baseline of the franchise in terms of comparing it to, you read it every time in the franchise throughout the history. What's the thing that they talk about the most? They say, due to the fact that man's actions, the countless wars, the way that people, are rising up, with hatred and evil. Man is evil, inherently evil. That is the baseline of the reason why Dracula comes back. Dracula comes back during wars. You see it countless times throughout the series history. It's a mainstay as to the reasoning. Right now we have the French Revolutionary War happening during this time, and so once again Dracula assumedly rises from his grave. And it's just, I don't understand this logic behind people who hate the Netflix show, who say that, who don't reflect on the actual game's history in that sense. That kind of boggles my mind. Granted, I don't know everything about Castlevania. I don't know I know a lot about Castlevania. It's my favorite franchise, obviously. You guys are here for this, to talk about it, to understand my perspective on this video. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I like the Netflix show. I have problems with the Netflix show, but I overall enjoy it. I'm really hoping that the pacing is fixed in this series. I'm not saying it needs to be go, go, go all the time, or that we need, what they had before, where they had this buildup of, episode after episode where like almost nothing happens, and then you get this giant crescendo, this huge like rising, falling action that happens very, very quickly. Storyline wise, it just doesn't make much sense for them to do it like that. If they were shrinking it down to a movie, then maybe it makes sense for them to build and build and build like that. But I hope that there's more. I hope that this trailer showcases that there's going to be more action. I did bleep out, you'll be listening to this and you'll be wondering, wait, why did he bleep it out? There is a swear that Richter says regarding his line about I am Richter Belmont and I hunt vampires and who's effing next. It's just kind of corny. It's super serious. Like it's supposed to be this like, in this trailer, it's supposed to be this like rah-rah, like, yes, he's the good guy, sort of thing. But like, it's not corny in the sense like, what is a man? Miserable pile of secrets, or like that sort of stuff. What a horrible night to have a curse. It doesn't reflect on the franchise, on the original franchise like that. It's more designed to maybe throw some modern day shock value into it, which I know a lot of people have problems with that in this series. A lot of people really dislike modern day idealisms or modern day, like if this really truly took place back in the day, and we weren't modernizing the language at all, you'd have everyone walking around saying like everyone would be talking about like Thor, or like everyone would be speaking in a manner that they'd be using language that just doesn't make any sense in modern day era. I get it. I understand. This is a modern day adaptation of Castlevania in a different medium than the games. And the most important thing that people just really need to understand, these people that absolutely hate the show, is this is a modern, and you can hate the show. You could absolutely hate the show. If you hate it, you hate it. That's your opinion. Cool. But I think a lot of people think that the show erases the importance of the games. And part of that is based on the fandom. The fandom in the Netflix show has a lot of the fandom. I'm not saying all the fandom, but a lot of the fandom on the Netflix show has taken this idea of, well, the Netflix show is the Bible of the series, and that is absolutely not true. I could not stress this enough. The games are the Bible of the series. The games are the lore and the important part of the history. This is an adaptation. This is not the prime Castlevania thing. The focus should be, hey, that series is pretty cool. let me go check out the games. And that is how it should be. And that's not really what's happening. Despite the fact that Konami is re-releasing these games to modern-day fans to go check out and see for themselves what they're all about. Now, I'm not saying that all of the Netflixvania fans are like this. I'm just saying that there is a small faction of Netflixvania fanboys or fangirls or fan people that are clamoring at the mouth for, more Netflixvania, which is great, but it also kind of shrugs off the importance of what this franchise was in the first place. So I encourage anyone who's watching this, or really anyone who is really interested in Castlevania, truly interested in Castlevania, please go check out the games, because the games are the important part. They're what matters. They are the lore and history that we all love as fans of the games and the franchise. Now, with that said, everything here that I'm seeing gets me excited about the show. I'm excited. I'm stoked to watch it. I really want to just see how they're going to bring back Dracula and how they're going to showcase this story. Because obviously it's being based on Rondo of Blood, and I'm assuming that they're also going to do the transition into Symphony of the Night, so bringing back Alucard again. Most likely the series will end with Alucard showing up out of the blue, realizing that, they'll probably do what they did before, where like Richter disappears and now all of a sudden they need to get Alucard in there. In regards to Annette, I think she's pretty badass. Based on what I'm watching here, she looks pretty cool. I don't personally have a problem with the redesign, the race swap as far as that goes. And listen, I'm not here to get political with you people, but what I'll say is I think Annette was a boring character to begin with. Basically, a captured prisoner in that sense. You don't really get a sense of Annette's character in the games. So they do a little bit better of a job with Maria than they do with Annette. Maria looks pretty cool here as well. Obviously, it looks like they've aged her up quite a bit. But I'm really curious to see where they go with this new version of Annette. Truly, what I do believe is I don't have a problem with Annette being a strong female hero or a strong female character or anything like that. However, I still ultimately feel like if they're going to keep the primal story of Rondo of Blood, Annette gets captured, Maria gets captured, Richter goes after both of them, saves Annette, saves Maria. That's kind of my... That is the timeline for how things should go, in my opinion. Like, these characters get captured in the game. What I'm thinking is Richter and Maria and Annette and all these like characters that they're showing, these good guy characters or good girl characters or whatever, go and most of them get captured. Richter's the only one left, and then Richter goes in and cleans house. That would be so killer. I think if they did it that way, I really think that would be great. That would truly, in my opinion, honor the original. If the base story is there, then I think it's good. I think the problem that I had, the major problem that I have with the previous series is that Dracula gets killed by, I know why they did it. They did it for emotional buildup, but Dracula getting killed by Alucard instead of Trevor is, in my opinion, in the game, you can kill Dracula with any of the characters that you choose from. Meaning, if you go through the game with Trevor, you pick up Alucard, and then you go and Alucard, you switch to the Alucard character and kill Dracula. Okay, then that makes sense. I still ultimately feel like the Belmonts really need to be the focus in this series. When it comes to Symphony of the Night, sure, you could have Alucard. He could be the focus, absolutely. Yeah, what I would ultimately say is I think that this series still has, a pretty strong hope that it's going to be consistent with where the original story is going at this point, and we'll watch it and we'll see what they do with the adaptation. That's really all we can do at this point. We can't shrug it off and say, well, this is terrible. You know, I mean, it's not out yet, so we don't know. But I thank you all for watching, and I'm very curious what you all thought from this new trailer. Let me know down in the comments below. As always, stay tuned for more Castlevania content from the Castlevania headquarters. Unofficial.